Hey, book boos and bays, I'm back with another review, and this book here that I'm about to tackle was all over the place. Like, it was showing up everywhere, every list, best-selling list, must-read list. People were sort of divided on the subject matter, so we'll get into that. But, because I know y'all just walling with anticipation, right? Want to know what I'm about to talk about? Girl, what tea you about to spill now? Yellowface or Kuang. So this book here has stirred quite a bit of controversy. Also, because I love a cover. Let's take it in. Come on, eyes. You can't see what I can see. You blind, baby. You blind to the fact. Yeah, love it, love it, love it. Okay. Also love the title Yellowface. It comes to make a great deal of sense as you read the book. All right, so this one will be short because it's hard to really talk about this book at all without any spoilers. So I'm gonna keep it brief because if I go too long, you think wrong. They say, right? If I go too long, I start spilling the tea for real. And I just kind of get you a sip. Basically, this book follows two frenemies, I would call them. So they kind of act like they're friends with each other, but on the low, they really can't stand each other. They kind of compete. Well, one of them, we only get the perspective of one, really. One of them is sort of in like a silent competition type deal with the friend. Long story short, the craziest thing happened one night. They having dinner after a night of partying, and at the end of it all, the friend who was kind of in a silent type of competition runs across a manuscript that her frenemy has written. Now, the frenemy has had a certain amount of success with writing, and the person who ends up with the book hasn't had great success. So the main character who ends up with this book is like, man, I don't think anybody has read this. I don't think anybody knows that homegirl was working on this. So you know what? This is the remix, right? So she takes this woman's work and remixes it and puts it out there as if it's her own. Okay, so some folks are like, well, she made enough changes to it that it is an original work. I'm of the mindset that the idea is of the friends. The meat and potatoes of it is the friends. Like, the friend has done this research on this topic. This friend shares the identity of the individuals that the book is centered on, all the things. So nothing about this tells me that this friend of me can just take this book, edit it, rework it, remix it, whatever you want to call it, repackage, repurpose, and say, ta-da, look at this amazing book that I just wrote. That feels just like plagiarism 101 to me. I'm sorry. No one is ever going to make me think that enough work could be done to have made it an original work of art. To not have been honest and not credited the friend in any kind of way or whatever is just crazy talk to me. With that, I think it's important to have a conversation about privilege, right? So this book is called Yellowface, and it is because the subject matter of the book that is being published is an Asian community. And so it made me think of like blackface and how awful that is, and how back in the day with the minstrel shows and all of the things, and it was depicting the worst stereotypes of Black Americans and all the things. So Yellowface, blackface was the connection that I made there. And what they had in common is that the privilege of whiteness is what allowed these things to play out. Because the frenemy, who's going to publish this work, is a white woman. And she has come in and basically, in my opinion, stolen this Asian woman's work, her labor, and all the things, and is about to profit off of it. So, that's a lot. That is kind of some spoiler mixed in there, but not really. Because the details are really going to matter in this book. So I would really encourage you to still read it because even just that little bit I gave you is not enough to ruin the story by any means, because honey, so many twists and turns. And then when you think about, again, like I said, the privilege of it all, that this white woman is able to come in and present herself as the key expert on this population that is representative in the book. Homegirl goes so far as to, I'm going to give this away as a little piece of a spoiler. It's not a big deal, but it just spoke volumes to me. She, in essence, like changes her name and what have you to give the illusion that she too could have some Asian lineage. And the way that her photo, the image is captured, makes her racially ambiguous on like the book sleeve and all of the things, the book cover, what have you. And so, no, it was Yellowface for sure. Like, you was out here playing in these people's face and pretending that you were something that you were not for a profit. And so it really does just make you think about privilege and oppression and who can get away with what. Because I have no reason to think that my Black ass can pull out something like that. They coming for me. They looking for me. They got all the questions and queries and concerns and what have you. And so it's just really interesting to watch that play out in a way that actually feels like it is possible. I think it absolutely, and who's to say it hasn't happened and continues to happen, right? We hear all the time about someone saying, oh, that was my idea. I sent that in for a studio to consider, screenwriting or whatever. I look up and they made a whole production around it and cut out the original person that sent that work in. Usually that's going to be a person that does not hold dominant identities, that then has the ability to take on the lawyers and the teams of a whole Hollywood studio budget when it comes to legal matters or what have you. And so, yeah, I think that's really interesting to think about. But then I want to encourage you to think about, when you read this and you experience this main character, was it worth it? Well, all that she went through, all of the inappropriate behavior and awful decisions that she made, was it really worth it? Did she ever benefit from this plagiarism or whatever it is that you would want to call it? And then also really sit with, what does it mean to be friends with someone? Are you able to cheer for them, even if you're not necessarily out here winning in that moment? Can you genuinely cheer for your friends and celebrate their successes? And how do we know, when do we know we are in a frenemy situation? Because that was not clear in this book. One person really thought they were in a friendship and that they were just exchanging information and hanging out, having good times and checking in here and there or whatever. And the other person was very much like, she thinks she all that and a bag of chips or whatever, right? Like, she thinks she that girl. She the boss. And the whole time the other person was just like chilling and living their life, was not paying much attention to, giving any thought to how they were in comparison to one another. It was more of a, this is my life, this is your life, and it's great. We are out here living our different lives and experiencing our dreams in different ways, and it is what it is. But was it? So anyway, I'll leave that there with some things to think about as far as this book here. But now, I didn't give you a whole lot, but I want to be clear. This is good. This right here is a great book. I'm digging into this author's catalog, and yeah, some good writing happening, some good things happening. I want to say that real quick too. I just think I've been a lifelong reader. I started reading at the age of 4 and never stopped. Like, this is what I've often done with my free time. I have been a TV watcher here and there, but for the most part, my entire life, my free time has been spent with my nose in a book. And there's always been great books out there, but I don't know. I feel like for some reason, and maybe it's just because I'm open to way more genres now. I don't know what the difference is, but I just feel like some good reading is happening. And also, I'm in a different stage of life where I don't have young kids, so my reading isn't as interrupted and disrupted. I could just sit and flow with a book, and so maybe I could just feel it more deeply. I don't know what it is, but I am here for it. It feels like the most magical time to be a reader. I've got more to say about that, but that'll be a separate video. So anyway, Yellowface or Kuang, definitely check it out. This book is so good. It is worth all the praise that it has received. It is worth all the conversation that it has ignited. And what team will you be on? Team plagiarism or team not? Anyway, if you've already read it, leave your thoughts and comments, in the comments, or any questions you may have, anything that you think is important for future readers to know. And if you haven't read it, please move it to the top of your TBR list, because I really want to engage in conversation with you all and know what you think about this. And I know I also, let me be a bit more transparent here. I am a faculty member, so I probably am looking at plagiarism and what have you through a more academic integrity related lens than someone who isn't in academia may be thinking about it. And so I own that as well. I see with the reality that I probably think about academic integrity on a nearly daily basis way more than the average person would have a reason to. Because before I was in the academy, it's not something that would have come to mind in the same way either. But it's a thin line between original work and plagiarism, and so we want to be mindful of that and sit with that as well. So with that, I encourage you all to stay safe and to stay informed, and don't be stealing people's shit. No, I'm just teasing. But let me know what your thoughts are on Yellowface, and I will catch you later.